There you are, sweet baby angel, and here I am. It's time for us to spend some time with family and friends and let them know where it all went wrong.
You want the trash? I got it all for you. Let's rehash the mess together. A sassy hole that only speaks the truth. Nobody gaslights you better.
Hello, I'm Wilko, the guy who rehashes reality, and welcome to Wilko Rehashed. You might not know it, but giving this video a thumbs up really does help. And I'm not going to pressure you, but at any stage during this video and you think, maybe he deserves it, then absolutely give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, because Married at First Sight isn't the only trash that I cover. If you have any suggestions, also put them in the comments below with your thoughts, feelings, and musings as to what's happening to our love lab rats in Married at First Sight Australia. What are we up to? Episode 18? That means that we're almost halfway through this shit fight, and the longer it goes on, the more confused I am. Is it real? Is it not real? Which couples are we meant to believe in, and who are we putting in the bin immediately? The other question is, how much room is in the bin? She fool. The day of recording this, it is my birthday, and you hopefully would have watched the live show. Yes, because of all the trash mess and drama, I did do a live show. And you can support the channel by giving thanks or clicking the link below in the description that says donate, and make sure Rehashed stays around for all the TMD in your life. All right, let's get into the episode. Now, there's a bit of a whip around and we see what couples living their life in bliss and also not in bliss. But there's something that's happened, and I tell you what, I don't know if any of us expected that this would be the case.
The couple took the surprising next step of consummating their marriage.
I'm a little bit shocked and confused.
I'm shocked and confused too.
Same,
Don't get me
honey.
wrong. I went from him telling me he's not sexually attracted to me to we have a big fight to I need a cuddle to we have sex. I mean, I'm not upset about it.
Maybe you soon will be. Okay, well, that's a shock for me, considering, Dan at the Commit Me couch time said he wasn't really that keen. And then they had a blow up, and then they had a well, I don't know if blowing was involved after the blow up. All right, so that's a step in the right direction. Or maybe it's Harrison and Bronte part 2. Good for you, Sandy. You get yours. I hope it was good, because both of you don't seem like you've, I don't know, had any fun.
How's Harrison?
Ramped up the acting skills.
If
Sure
that was
did.
all real, he just all of a sudden tripped, fell in love.
He was baptised.
I mean, when he sat on the couch, it was instant crying.
It's just really hard to see her like that. Do you want this heated up?
Yes, please.
Can I get you
Here
a
he
coffee?
is.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
But all that matters is that Harrison understood, and that's all that I really care about.
Here you go, beautiful. So seeing you in that state really affected me, especially going in there alone. I've just felt like completely out of my comfort zone.
Of course, do appreciate the fact you didn't feel abandoned last night.
Just trying to make it as comfortable as possible. I haven't gone to the gym today. That's the sort of person I am.
You know what, Hazza? Thank you so much for not feeling abandoned when I couldn't live my normal life because of endometriosis. Thank you, Harold, for sitting there and just holding up a placard and not feeling any certain type of way in regards to abandonment, because I've got lady issues like you wouldn't fucking believe. Someone who needs thanks here is definitely Harold. And most of all, thank you for not going to the gym, you selfless man, you. If you're just joining us after not watching Rehashed, I have decided to not believe anything Bronte and Harrison say. So I'm taking this relationship with the grain of salt it deserves. Speaking of taking relationships with a grain of salt, it's move-in day for our newlyweds in the experiment. And I can only imagine how Taylor feels about it.
I look so angry.
You don't? Yeah, well, I mean, fair enough.
Let's lay it all out.
If you...
Oh, straight in there.
We're gonna have to try to keep it this neat. Clothes, we have to get a
We have
dirty
to stay
clothes.
clean.
Move-in day, I'm feeling fantastic.
Okay.
Am I gonna be able to set an alarm?
Yes.
What time is too early?
I don't want to be up before 7.
If I'm waking you up too, so I've tried flashlight, I've tried...
What in your right mind think it's good to shine a flashlight in someone's face?
Oh, I tried tapping you and nothing happened. I've tried coffee cup.
Rupert wakes me up in the most bizarre ways. In the morning, he put the coffee in my hand whilst I was asleep, and I was like, this is so dangerous. I think don't wake me up.
Don't wake you up.
Yeah.
Because clearly the beauty sleep is absolutely working for Evelyn. Like, I get the smell of coffee could make someone wake up. We've all seen that MACAULAY ad, right? You know, the smell of the coffee, makes you go, oh, should I buy MACAULAY? The answer is no. Go to a real cafe, be a grown-up. But I don't know if I do know. I do know that placing a very hot cup of coffee in a sleeping person's hand is never gonna go well. I don't know about you, Sweet Baby Angel, but do you sometimes look at Rupert and the way he sort of interacts with everything around him in his life, and do you think he's done like a Freaky Friday or 17 Again swap? You know, like, is there a 17-year-old that was swapped into a grown-up's body?
I got you some flowers.
Who is this person and where is my husband? Very pleasantly surprised.
Does that give me a week off?
The way that you've handled criticism compared to the first week is just such an improvement. I'm really proud of you for that.
I've done nothing wrong. You know, it is what it is. But I think last night was toxic as. Yeah, the thing that really upset me last night was the fact that Claire wrote stay, and it still stirs me up now.
Oh, does it? I'm interested, because what you're saying now makes it seem like you're not staying in your lane. Interesting turnaround. The Cam and Lyndall thing is still confusing to me, so on the Commit Me couch, there was a huge blow up because he wouldn't give her a cuddle. And I know a lot of the Sweet Baby Angels sent me messages, or people who aren't at all still sent me messages saying, hey, you know that you don't have to cuddle someone. No, I know that you're not forced to cuddle someone. I try to force my partner all the time. He doesn't want it. I know you're not forced to cuddle someone, but I think, you know, there's compromises that have to be made sometimes. And when someone is feeling down, maybe it doesn't have to be a full embrace, but I feel like you could do something. So they had that blow up, and now he's turned up with flowers, and the narrative is telling us, hey, they're actually doing really well. Don't worry about everything that's happened. They're actually doing really well. Here's some flowers, and now let's turn ourselves to the actual drama, which is, can you believe what Claire did? And to be honest, I can't. Why would you stay? That's ridiculous. That makes me think, oh, Claire, are you also not here for the right reasons? You had a little vape and a kiss, then you lied about it, you made Jessie feel insane, and I don't know if you need a redemption. You said sorry, that's good enough for me, time for you to trot off home.
You know, a big part of why I wrote Stay was hoping that, you know, maybe he still
Redemption
cares.
story.
Maybe I haven't completely, you know, ruined it.
He's busy packing for leaving the experiment as soon as he is able to.
Of course he is. Leave now! Like, oh, rings off.
I don't even know where to begin. I'm feeling pretty grumpy about it. I said to Claire that I want to go back to Perth, and I think I said that in a pretty respectful way. She still wrote stay.
What's he found? He's
Now
gone
I'm feeling
full
a bit
Donnie
more like
Darko.
myself. What I don't need is to be placed here for another week where I don't really want to be here, coming off the back of a very uncomfortable scenario, and feel obligated to continue building the relationship.
Ah, that's good, yeah. Jessie, I don't know if that mask and you just wearing it out, also not great for actually drinking coffee, in case you're wondering what this... No, I'm sure he could do that while he was wearing the, you know, good eye protection. I don't know if it's good for drinking coffee, but also I don't know if it's good for the people who aren't Jessie fans who think he might be a little bit unhinged. Jessie, I know technically the rule is if somebody says stay, you must stay, but you know that you can just leave. You can just leave. Don't let the producers convince you otherwise, just so they can get a bonus. Just go home. Speaking of someone who should go home, far, far away from where the Love Lab Rats are right now, Tay-Tay should return to Tassie. I don't believe she's portraying herself correctly. I think she's doing whatever she can to play it up to the cameras, which is fun, but ultimately I don't know if it's going to end well for her. Anyway, she's back talking about how she couldn't possibly share a bed with Hugo.
Oh, yeah. A bit of a shiver. I don't know. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but, you know, I'm probably not going to take that into account.
You've got the self-awareness to recognise you don't want to hurt my feelings, but then afterwards you've made a choice. You're still not going to take them into account.
Yeah. No, I'm not really feeling that romantic. I think it might be a little bit annoying living with Hugo. He's a bit of a man baby. Well, how much space do you need, do you think?
Same amount of space as you.
No, that's not right. You could put some stuff in here as well.
That's just the internet cupboard though. Time for Taylor to grow up.
How much space do you need? Well, about the same as you. No, that's not right. If this is Taylor's true personality, it's terrible, and I don't know how anyone could live with it. Even though she's sitting there saying Hugo's the worst, the edit is just showing the worst bits of Taylor's personality. Although I don't believe that this is her. I think she's just trying to be a villain, which I kind of appreciate, but I think it might backfire.
Just continuing in the experiment off the back of what's happened, it's tough. My olive branch towards Claire is that, yes, perhaps your heart is in the right place, but overwhelmingly, I want space. Today in particular, I don't know, it just feels strange to have to sit down with the father of the chick who's gone and kissed someone else. You know, what am I doing?
Jess!
Lee?
Yeah, what are you doing? Lee.
So I'm taking that it's all good. You're all happy.
I mean,
There's more to the story than...
Yeah. I kind of did something a little bit messed up. I kissed another one of the husbands here on a night out.
Oh, Dad is so disappointed.
I'm actually shocked because it's not you, that's the thing. You told Jess or did Jess find out from someone else?
I came forward and I told Jessie.
Give me a hand. Give me a hand.
Oh.
Life is up and down. I've experienced a lot of it. There's things we can get over and things that we can't get over. But it's up to us. We have that decision to make. I can't tell you what to do. I'm hurt. Look at me. For both of you. If you can find it in your souls, if you can reach it deep down in your heart, have it out, talk it out, and move on from it. Don't get in that path of just giving up too easy. Really fight for it, because that's what it's about.
I agree. You really do have to fight in a legitimate relationship. I don't know about this one. I don't know. Jesse was just truly awful to begin with, even though he's blaming it all on the edit. And then Claire went and did a whatever thing, kissed another groom. Ooh, what a terrible cheating scandal. In the grand scheme of things, not the worst. The worst part was lying about it consistently and then making Jesse feel like he was insane. Both of them need to go and work on themselves before they can be with other people. So, Claire's daddy, as right as you are, you're wrong in this instance. Working on this is not going to help them. He does seem really sweet, though. I could never imagine my dad going, give me a hand. I don't think my dad has ever hugged me. Oh, we've all got stuff. Yeah, it's funny. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. But I think... I'm just thinking... Look, family's not touchy-feely, which I think, you know, everyone's different, but I think you should, you know, try and embrace your children. But imagine just like, you know, all holding hands at the table. I'd laugh uncontrollably if that happened in our family. There's just no way that would ever happen.
Have you thought about forgiving Claire?
Yeah, I definitely
thought about it.
I reckon my mindset going into this week was to be a passenger, to see what Claire, I guess, can do to earn my trust back. And I'm hoping that by the end of the week, I can then have that conversation with myself and see where I want to go. Lee had some good things to say. I really don't like the place that I'm in because I know Claire's dad was coming from a really great place. I still feel this kind of pressure that I need to forgive at a rate of speed in which I don't think I'm ready for.
I think you've already made up your mind. You're sitting there going, oh, you know, I'm going to just be a passenger this week and then I'll consider it. No, you've already made up your mind. Your bag is practically packed, Donnie Darko. It's time for you to go back to Perth. I think ultimately for yourself, you should maybe forgive because maybe that would make you a happier person in life. I don't. I always hold grudges.
It's the hate that fuels me. Anyway, clearly I'll hold grudges until I die, just like Oblivion.
No, but really, you should probably, after that dramatic monologue, you should really probably try and forgive people. But you're right, Jesse, you got to do it in your own time. Claire did forgive you for a lot of stuff quite quickly, but that doesn't mean that you have to forgive her for a little vape and kiss.
What's your favourite hug position?
My favourite hug position?
A little intimacy week task.
Adult hug. I don't know.
What's an adult hug?
That's just sex.
Be serious, Rupert.
Sorry, yeah. Have you got your eyes closed or open? Yeah.
Well, they're really going for it.
Okay, I'll be silent.
Stop talking. We have a very strange dynamic.
No shit.
But I think it could be heading in the right direction.
Hopefully I will just naturally
come up to you and hug you and stuff like that because I like that, whereas I feel like I have been holding back.
Why have you been holding back?
It's just that fear. I think it's just that it comes down to that fear. Am I a good cuddler?
You are a very good cuddler, Rupert.
Thank you. Did you put deodorant on this one?
Again, can't tell if he's just awkward as shit or trying to be funny. Or both. Now, again, we can't tell because of how crazy the edit is this year. And when I say crazy, I mean bad. They've really failed in a lot of areas. The matchups, the edits, very hard to believe. But these two don't seem toxic at all or extremely broken. I guess that's something. It doesn't seem like they're really trying to destroy one another, which is nice.
It doesn't matter that you're not here.
Ooh. He's there, mate.
Is he? Oh, sorry.
You didn't
Sorry.
even know I was on the table. That's how little.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm starting now. First, I'm going to put Cam.
Oh,
He's always
shocker.
having a laugh and making jokes. And
Yeah, I wish I knew what it was like to be funny.
Harrison, he's got really blue eyes.
Harrison?
All round nice guy. So, 5th, Dan.
Dan.
6th. I don't know Jesse very well, but he just gives me serial killer vibes. He has to go last, I think.
I don't know if you should say
I
that.
want to be honest, Hugo. There is a part of Hugo that I find attractive, and that is his height. I think you definitely deserve to go first.
First?
Honestly. You deserve to be up there because you are funny 60% of the time.
Hey.
First? All right, see, okay, now we can't believe anything. No, no. I'm all for playing the game and you should just try and do a nice thing by your partner, but you've got to at least have tried to make them believe that you're into it before that. No one's going to believe this, Tay. Maybe like 3rd, top 3. That's good. I don't think anyone's going to believe that you're picking Hugo over Cam any day. Remember, because you love a tradie and a footy player. But at least we know that there is something about Hugo that she likes. He is funny 60% of the time. I don't know if I want my partner to give a percentage of how many of my jokes land. Yeah, I don't want a percentage on that. It would be low.
I think he will put me first in the order.
I want to put you first. Like, I really want to put you first. 100%, you're in the top 3. Do you reckon you deserve to be put at the top with how you've been treating me?
I mean, I know that you haven't felt like I've been trying as hard as I should.
Where do you think you deserve to be? Where would you kind of put yourself?
Over here. Yeah, probably last.
Maybe you do deserve to be last. Look, it's my decision. There's no way I'm going to let you be last one. You can go second last.
He put me second last. That was really uncomfortable. I didn't like that at all.
Hey, you know what I don't like? You guys playing games. I don't believe any of this. I don't believe Hugo and I don't believe Taylor. Come on, act better. Either come to the show for genuine reasons and be problematic just because that's what you are, or if you're going to come here and just fake and just do it for followers, then you got to act better. You were acting very good at the start, Taylor, but now your guard's dropped. And I don't believe any of it. I'll put you second last. I'm not buying it, but good try.
How are you?
How are you? Is he too good to be
meeting the
true? Like, is he too
Yes.
perfect? And how
Yes.
somebody like him can still be single? Oh, look, he's so good. Have you been a waiter too?
A topless one. So Alyssa's mum has the same hang-ups that we do. She wants to know, what's your secret? Hey, Duncan, come in close. What's your secret, baby? Tell us. More importantly now than Duncan's secret is, how are you going to get out? Oh, wait. How are you going to get out of this now, Duncan? Now that you know Alyssa's just very not flexible. How are you going to get out of this one, Dunks?
So then what's your feeling about Alyssa having a child?
We're halfway through now. I really still don't know.
Look
Like
at
when
the way
there's
she
other
looks at
women
him.
that don't have kids and exes and all that kind of stuff, I'm not gonna cry.
I don't think we know what the answers are, but at the same time, 36, all my mates have got kids, or they're seeing people that have got kids with other people. It's just a normal part of my circle of friends and my environment. So it's not as worrying for me. That is something that I think actually affects Alyssa more than me. I'm happy to look at how that's gonna work. We both are emotionally invested.
You know, I really think Duncan's a real deal. Life is messy and you don't always know where it's gonna go.
It's not mean his ego too much.
That's not ego.
Truth.
I'm absolutely falling for him, and
I'm definitely emotionally invested.
I did like the part where we put something over Alyssa's face. No, that's me. Okay, well, Dunks, if it doesn't work out with Alyssa, it looks like her mum is definitely interested, even though she's still trying to figure out what your secret is. So Duncan continues this streak of not being an absolute douchebag, and we're still waiting for the other shoe to drop. There has to be something flawed in this man, because that response to Alyssa being a single parent and him taking on the role as a step parent is too good. It's too good. I can't believe it. I hate him.
You have reached the message bank of...
He left at like 7 to go for a run, and then he had an appointment. Since we've been intimate, he has been distant. Maybe he feels weird about what happened yesterday.
Oh, Dan, don't do that. Oh, no.
Maybe he regrets the physical intimacy going to the next level. I know he said before for him sex is just like, he can separate sex and feelings. I can't. I'm stupid.
So because he can't ghost her through the phone, he had sex with her and now he's physically ghosted her for the entire day. Has Dan met women? The first time, after a bit of build-up, you guys are going to be intimate and you just take off for the whole day. And you know that you've got like a little friends and family catch-up.
You had me at the bottom because you thought
I'm married.
you didn't like my personality, and I just feel like it was unfair.
I don't think it was that unimaginable a blindside, surely.
Yeah, it was. Well, I don't really feel like he does anything that nice apart from say a few nice things to me.
I absolutely hate that I've upset you this much, and I want...
No, you haven't.
I haven't. It's another day of acting like somebody has pissed in her cornflakes. My back's hurting from carrying this relationship.
No one believes any of this shit. Also, she's on the couch, so let's just knock that down as she hasn't claimed the bed the entire time, just so we've got to remember that. So she's upset, but she's not upset, and he says nice things, but they're not the right things, and she doesn't really ever say anything nice in the edit. Producers, you really needed to put some like proper, genuine couples that we can all believe in this time. You know what I mean? Like some real genuine ones. Because all the other ones have fallen apart. And at the end, don't you want some things that we can believe in?
I feel very, very caged at the moment inside the experiment.
You've been gone for hours, and I need you to tell me how we're going to spend quality time together.
An argument over going for a run, like, I don't get it.
Instead of spending 6 hours at the gym, maybe you spend 2 or 3 hours at the gym, and the 2 or 3 hours we do something.
I can't believe you're arguing with me about going out for a run.
Because you went for so long. Also, weren't you going to like help Sandy get ready for the friends and family visit, which is going to be very awkward now? I get that people need me time, but I just don't understand so early in a relationship that you would, if you like someone, wouldn't you want to be around them? I just don't think Dan likes Sandy. Oh, that sounds awful. I just don't think he does. I think he pretended and hoped that he eventually would, but he didn't. Because if you're going to the gym for 6 hours, oh, red flag.
Where do I start?
Here we go.
At the moment, I get really confused and stressed out because I'm like...
Friend from the
I've
wedding?
developed feelings for him. But I'm like, sometimes I just get a sense that he doesn't want to spend time with me. I don't think he likes me.
Sandy is a little bit of an overthinker. And then this whole, like, does he like me or doesn't, it's preventing Sandy from leaning in. So how that looks to me is somebody that wants to be left alone.
Good start, Dan. Tell Sandy what she is in front of her sister. You tell Sandy's sister what she is. So she's an overthinker, and that says to Dan that Sandy wants to be left alone. So Sandy, that he's gone for 6 hours, this is now on you. I hope you're writing this down.
The way I like to connect is that, like, I'm a very high energy, very active, climbing mountains, paddling rivers, swimming in waterfalls. You're not an active person, but you don't want to be not feeling that energy connection, and energy is so important to me, as you know.
Right.
Are we compatible?
Are you?
That's a big question mark.
I think our interests are different.
Right.
I have eczema.
Oh, right.
And so if I go into the ocean, I get full-on breakouts.
Wow.
And so basically that means I'm allergic to the ocean.
She can't believe it. Oh, you're allergic to the ocean? Oh, I don't know if that's going to go well, considering that Dan is a very active man. He's climbing mountains and he's killing animals with his bare hands and he's swimming across oceans. So Dan is basically Iron Man, and Sandy isn't fitting into that fantasy. Like, I'm sure Sandy loves Nutri-Grain, don't we all? But as I found out, just eating Nutri-Grain doesn't make you an Iron Man. And I think that it's all bullshit. And I think that Dan is finding any little thing that he can to try and make Sandy feel like it's her fault so he can get out of the relationship. Instead of just going, I don't like you, I don't like this, I would like to leave, thank you. Just say that. Just say that you don't feel any chemistry, you've had sex together, it didn't work for you, so sozzy, I'm out. But don't try and make her feel like she's just this unactive mess who does nothing but sit and watch TV. Wow, I just described myself.
Are both of you prepared to move? Like you live in different states.
It's not completely off the cards.
No. I can't. It's like Sandy said, we've got a very different stack of interests. When I get up and I go for my run and I go to the gym and all that kind of stuff, you have the opportunity to do what you choose to do in that time as well. But the way that we both spend our me time is completely different.
Why does that matter?
Because I'm out being very active. You're, watching a bit of TV.
I'm watching TV because I have nothing else to do here.
You can be active.
You made it sound like what I prefer is sitting on the couch, but what I prefer is working on the relationship.
Almost kind of sounds like you need someone that's literally just going to slot in, acting up with them.
Absolutely.
They kind of need to meet you at where you're at.
100%. Absolutely.
So I think that's going to be a little bit difficult. It's also like, well, why should she just have to fit into his lifestyle? Like, why can't he meet her halfway?
No, because Dan doesn't do compromise. You'll find it a lot in the straight male when they get to a certain age. And I can't speak for females, but I've seen a lot of straight men in my life and they get to a certain age and they refuse to bend. They don't want to bend for anyone. No compromise anymore because I'm too old for compromise. For Dan, no, someone's going to have to slot in perfectly to his life and eczema does not fit. Why does it feel like Dan is really shaming Sandy for not being as active as he thinks she should be?
You can see what I was saying, right? About the whole, I feel like he just doesn't want to try sometimes.
He just talks, like he's saying, he talks a lot, but he's not saying much.
This is literally my whole day. Like, he won't even let me speak sometimes.
The most important relationship in this world is the relationship that you have with self.
So would you think that I just slept with him yesterday? He's been completely distant. He's barely touched me. Part of me thinks that he just wishes, like, I'm not good enough. And I don't think he wants to say it. So, he's hiding behind this lifestyle thing.
Yes. Oh, okay, I get it now. Sandy and I are on the same page. So Dan, instead of making her sit there and question everything when you keep going, oh, but our me time, we're doing different things. That is the whole fucking point of me time. When we do things together, that's us time. I don't understand why you don't get that. Sandy doesn't have to be active in her me time. She can do whatever she wants. And if you want someone who's active with you and also when they're on their own, then that's someone different entirely. I don't think you particularly care about the me time and the not being active and all that shit. I think you're just hiding behind it. Like Sandy said, I don't think you like her. And I think you pretended for as long as you can.
She means so well. But I'm not sure that you guys are compatible.
The fact that Sandy is allergic to ocean water and can't go in it, I mean, that gives me anxiety. Like, what kind of a life is that? When two people do the same thing that they prefer to do independently, they come together and they amplify that together. I'm not looking for a passenger in life, I'm looking for a co-pilot. So someone that can sit in the seat with me that already knows how to fly the plane.
And the most important thing about stepping into a healthy relationship is being a whole human. Like, you are in a position where you have worked so hard to get to where you're at, you're not going to settle because you don't need it. You are very unique. Remember to honour exactly who you are.
It's such a beautiful and refreshing conversation to have with you, G, because you get me.
Because you're agreeing with everything I say. I love sitting down and having chats with you, G, because you are saying that I'm right and okay, great. That's exactly what I needed. Hey, G, are you saying that Sandy needs to work on herself a lot more and that's why she's not ready to be with Dan? Takes two to tango here, and it feels like Dan just didn't get what he wanted and he's mad about it. And that's not Sandy's fault, that's the expert's fault for not giving you something that you requested on your order form. And finally, after all this time, we are meeting the real Dan.
You see the kind of relationship and a dynamic that I have with Georgia. That's a really important energy that I'm actually looking for in a relationship.
Like someone who's deserving of you will accept you in your wholeness.
The only thing that really matters is the right here and the right now. It's the only thing that exists. Does the compatibility work now? And that is the big question mark.
Does it work now? Because if it doesn't work now, it will never, ever work. Again, we go back to the point that I think you click with G because you both think the same. That's not necessarily great in a relationship long term. Sure, you have to have similar interests in some areas, and you also have to have similar morals and goals, but it sounds like you want yourself a little yes lady. And I think you got a lady who's going to use her own brain.
I think for me, what came up is the incompatibility, the difference in lifestyle, the difference in interests. One of the big things that I really want, and I spoke to the experts about it, is someone that's very active, very into their fitness, goes running, spends time on the ocean. The me time is a classic example.
I still don't understand why that matters. Because me time is for me to go do what I like and you to go do what you like.
Yep.
The phrase in itself, me time, I decide what I do with that time. Why does it matter to him what I'm doing? Okay, you've got this lifestyle. You're saying you need me to be a part of it, but he doesn't want me to go to the gym with him. He doesn't really want me to go for his morning walks. I feel like he's just gone, we're in misalignment, that's it. How does that make us incompatible?
No, you're talking around in circles.
Absolutely. You're just not liking what I'm saying. I think that's the problem.
Sandy deep down knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, you know what? I'm getting a bit bored by it. It's all just excuse making. And what you prefer and what I prefer are at completely opposite ends of the spectrum. And you're making excuses for that rather than just acknowledging that that is the reality.
Yeah, I can go do those things. The reason I haven't is because I'm trying to focus on the relationship. I came here for you.
This is an exhausting conversation because it's excuses, it's distortion, it's deflection, it's justification. You're dancing around it all rather than just sitting in it and going, okay, yeah, cool. I'm trying to have a civil conversation with you. You're raising your voice, you're talking over the top of me, you're being abrasive with me and trying to get an understanding.
I'm just trying to make it work, that's okay.
You got to stop talking over the top of me, Sandy.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. All right. Well, finally, we are meeting the real Dan. And Dan is the one who is speaking, and he does not want to hear your point of view because you have very different interests. And he ticked the box with active. He wanted an active gal. He goes jogging, who loves the ocean, who goes to the gym. And what he got was this one, who does, other things in her me time, like watch the telly. No. That's not what Dan wants. So Dan said actually a really slightly disturbing thing in regards to Sandy knows what I'm talking about and she just keeps sort of skirting around the issue. Is the issue that she's just not active enough for you? Because, it feels a bit shamey and gross. Sure, you should want the best for your partner and hope that they have a healthy lifestyle so they live a long, healthy life because you love them, yada, yada, yada. But that's not how it's coming across. All right, that's the end of the episode. And some stuff happened, but it feels like the last couple of episodes, not a lot has happened. It's all very odd. Mainly because so much of it we don't believe. Thank you so much for joining me for another rehash. If you want extra rehashes, you can get them at patreon.com/rehashed. And sweet baby angel, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.